What is up, guys? I just wanted to make a video real quick. It's about the next quality of life update for Honkai Star Rail, because the 2.0 patch comes out next week. And I know some people don't like reading, so I'm just going to speak everything for you so you won't have to read in this video. Um, but we're going to go specifically over the new quality of life updates that they added to the game really quick. So I'm on just the Hoyo Labs page. They uploaded this. I just grabbed this from their Twitter post that they made. But let's get to it. All right. So the first thing we have here is in this new version, when you salvage 5-star relics, you can now select between turning them into relic remains or into XP materials. So beforehand, whenever you were salvaging a 5-star relic on like 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1-star relics, you could only turn them into those books that you could use to get to use in the relic randomizer. But now this time they're adding a feature where you can actually just turn them into more XP for other relics that you have, which I think is a very good change because personally I don't like using the randomizer all too much. Usually I'll have a better set or a better set piece anyways, and I'd rather just dump the extra fragments into those. So that's not a bad update. They also added a discard mark, which personally I don't see the point to it because usually if I'm going through my relics, again, I guess not everybody does this, but usually if I'm going through a relic, um, looking at my relics, I'm probably already in the salvage menu anyways. So if there's something that I don't want, I would just click on it to salvage it to get it loaded up in the salvage thing because you can salvage multiple things at a time anyways. So I don't really get the purpose of adding this discard mark, but again, I guess everybody goes through their inventory in different ways. Um, and they also probably added that feature again for this other feature here, which is the new quick select feature when salvaging relics, where I guess if you click on the relics you want to discard, then you can just hit from the quick select menu, select all discarded, and then just discard them all at once. But again, I don't know why you wouldn't just be looking at your relics in the salvage menu anyways. If you're going through a bunch of your relics just to see what you don't need, so you would just click on them anyways to salvage them. Because it still loads them up in a queue so you can salvage all at the same time. So I don't really get the purpose of that, but you know, again, everyone goes through their inventory the same, different ways, so you never know. They also added this new feature, which is very nice. So they added a new enhancement cap option, um, where you can use basically input rules to enhance your relics specific ways. So in Honkai Star Rail, if you don't know, every 3 levels, so 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15, they have it right here, but it's probably kind of hard to see, um, is when one of your substats get updated. Um, and basically, this way, if you use this system, if you just check off enhance to the next node and you choose what star relics you want to put into the infusion to level up the relic that you're currently on, it'll automatically take it to the next level to upgrade the next substat. That way you don't have to sit there and upgrade through if you're just dumping like a bunch of like 3-star materials on like a high level relic and then you got to do it multiple times. You won't have to worry about it anymore with this. And here, this is actually kind of cool. I thought that they added is when you're now viewing your relic details, or you're comparing relics to each other, you can now see the enhancement status of secondary relics. So you can see how many ticks um, that substat has been landed on while upgrading this relic. So like again, it's kind of hard to see here, but let me try zooming in actually. Oops, too much. Maybe you can see a little better now, but right here you can see numbers. We have a 1 on attack, we have a 2 on crit rate, and we have a 1 on crit damage, and this is a max piece, so you can tell that when you were rolling on those substats for the relics on those every 3 levels, it landed on attack once, it landed on crit rate twice, and it landed on crit damage once. So this way you can just be able to tell when comparing, so you can see, just in case you forgot for whatever reason. Sometimes you don't know the exact values. Like I won't memorize like each tier of effect res percent something could land on. So this way, I'll be able to tell how many times it landed on this, if it's a bad piece or not, based on what it's landed on. Stuff like that. Again, I think they just updated the recommended system, like you can equip recommended gear, and then recommended combinations for relics based on your stats. But again, I don't really use recommended stuff. I usually don't recommend it. It's much easier just look at a guide for a character. And then here we have a relic filtering. We have an exclusion filtering feature here, which is so you can include or exclude selected secondary buffs on relics. So that way, if you're cycling through and you're looking for relics that are, let's say you're looking for boots and you want them to have these specific substats, you can now exclude or include those substats, so you only see the relics that you have with those substats, which I think is nice. Especially with all the the double relic drops they've been giving us. In case you get an overload of relics in one type, you can sort them this way. During relic feature, you can now further refine the selection based on the state of the relic. Okay, so basically, if you have locked relics, you can now do that. You can see all your locked relics, not locked relics. Ones are max level, not max level. Ones that are equipped, the ones that are not equipped. Which actually, this actually might use this because it'd be nice not seeing the relics that I have equipped to other characters, especially if they don't build the same sets that I'm currently looking for, because they all get cycled to the top if they're equipped, usually. And they also added this. So if you ever noticed when you're cycling through or filtering your relics, I use this feature a decent amount, but basically what they did is they separated before it didn't you didn't used to have this little dot and then the planar ornaments weren't separated. They basically just added this in, and I assume they added one on the top for the cavern relics just to get a little space between them, because I don't know, I guess sometimes it's hard to see in your when you're looking for specific relics and you're clicking on all your little square boxes there. But they basically just added that little indent in, basically. And when filtering relics now, specific part has been selected. Filtering for main stats will only display the main stats applicable to that particular part. So basically, if you pick specifically boots, like other set pieces, can't roll speed. So if you were clicking on boots, it would give you a different main stat display here. Like, see how speed is in here? If you clicked on boots, speed would be here, and you click that to cycle through just your main stat speed boots. Right, and then next we have the Fate Atlas system, which is basically a showcase that they now have in the game, which basically shows a timeline of all the major events that you have gone on your Trailblazer journey so far. Now let's see what specific. Okay, here we go. So these will specifically include the Trailblaze missions, the Trailblaze continuances, companion missions, and certain adventure missions. So anything that is of major relevance to the story will be put into this timeline for you. That way it's easier for you to navigate the story. If you stop playing the game, come back, you want to refresh your memory, anything like that. It's pretty nifty to have. Oh, and they also added, I guess there's a, obviously we can't read this here, but I assume there's a locked menu to show if there's a major event that you have not unlocked yet. It will give you the unlock conditions of the event, or maybe it'll just take you there directly. That way you can unlock that if you want to know, if you are able to access that crucial event in the story and you haven't done so yet for whatever reason. And then the navigation system. So I don't know how many people actually look at the maps and stuff in this game, but they basically show a cool outline like this for most areas in the game, most of the planets on the map, and they'll pinpoint each different section you can travel to. I think basically they're just giving us a revamp. They're just seems like they're just updating it. And I guess in certain spots they're gonna add this 3D layout here, which I don't know how helpful it's going to be. I know a lot of people have issues with 3D maps because it's sometimes harder for people to navigate. I assume on the Zhanzhou Luofu, that would one place I would actually like having it because there's a lot of stairs and upper levels and stuff like that. But again, it depends on how much trouble people have with viewing 3D maps like this. It's gonna depend how they only have like a simple example here. I would like to see it in one of the more complex areas, like the one I just mentioned. Um, but yeah, and then the last thing, I think this is the last thing we have here. Nope, we got one more after this. Is the Trailblazer profile expansion. Basically, you can add up to 3 support characters and 5 starfaring companions now. Just you know, more support stuff so people can choose more of your supports, see what you got going on, see your creator characters, stuff like that. Basic social stuff, and then we have, which I believe is the last thing here. Yep, it is the Dreamscape Pass system, which is something that's going to unlock later once we're in Penacony and we reach a certain point. But basically, I think it's just going to be it's kind of like your Trailblazer like level rewards stuff. Basically, I assume as you follow Clocky's footsteps and collect these stickers throughout Penacony, you're just going to get levels and then you're just going to get rewards, maybe Stellar Jades, some upgrade materials, like XP upgrade materials for relics, and probably more credits. But yeah, that's everything they got going on for the quality of life of 2.0 for Penacony, and looks pretty nice. Um, I like a lot of these features, especially this new Atlas thing. I'm a big JRPG fan, so I love having big encyclopedias in my games, especially if they show a timeline or like backlog stuff like that. Um, these relic filtering systems will definitely help, as well as these salvaging systems, because I do actually do this a decent amount. Especially recently when there's not major story stuff to do. I'm just farming out relics, stuff like that. I can filter out the ones I don't need a lot easier. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I think that's going to do it for this video, and I can't wait to see you guys in Penacony. Thank you so much for listening.